of oracle observations for the rising signs. This is for the week of April 7th. We are in the home stretch of Venus retrograde. Officially, if you're seeing this Monday morning, if you're watching it live with me right now, then as of tomorrow or as of today, if you're watching it once it's actually officially posted in the morning, then we're down to the last 6 days. And I always honor particularly the last 6 days of Venus retrograde, because Venus rules the number 6, taps into creatrix energy, divine feminine energy. And when you align specifically with Venus during the last 6 days before she goes in direct motion, you have an opportunity to really connect and go deeper into self-love, into the reflection and all of the recharge and retrospection that is so required and necessary during retrogrades in general. But particularly in regards to Venus, when it comes to love, self-love, relationships, finances, sanctuary, home, hearth, matters of the heart, and connection and communication, and tapping in as well with Mercury, right? Also in retrograde motion. So last 6 days of Venus retrograde. So definitely tap in as much as you can so that you can get that energy of being back to yourself and letting your cup runneth over and letting others drink of the overflow. And then when Venus goes direct on the 12th, you as well redirect your energy out back into the world with a new sense of self, a new sense and depth of self-love in order for you to really make space for what is meant for you. This energy of release to increase, and tapping in as well with a pink full moon in Libra on the same day, the 12th of April. So powerful, especially since Venus rules Libra, and especially considering the fact that we're tapping into this energy of pink, divine feminine, all about Venus energy on the exact same day. This is all about that making room to bloom. That is so inspired by my new beverage. So a shameless plug, Brew, that I officially launched this past week and had a tasting that was awesome on Friday evening. So I cheers to you. Bloom Brew is the absolute perfect beverage to drink during a Venus retrograde and then going into direct motion. So I give thanks and I send you all of the energy of bloom, because you are a flower. We are in a receptive mode energy. Make room to bloom. I make room to bloom. Ashe. And in honor of Bloom Brew, in honor of Venus retrograde and soon going direct, in honor of same day full moon in Libra ruled by Venus on the 12th of April, all about the flowers, all about the rose, which is in Bloom Brew. We're tapping into our rose oracle for this week, and then naturally tapping in further for more clarification with tarot. So without further ado, let us begin. First and foremost, as always, Aries. How you doing, Aries? Let us see what is in store for you this week and what you need to keep most in mind and heart to help everything rise into place. Hear the cars going out there? There's going to be some movement for you this week. Let's see what's up with the Aries Rising collective. Give thanks, Spirit. And I'm actually going to, because you can see this deck is bringing out stacks, so I'm going to shuffle a bit and then I'm going to pick the bottom card, and that's going to be how we're going to do this one this week. So Aries Rising, Sacred Union, beloved within inner and outer relationships. This deck, again, is very much in alignment with Venus energy, with divine feminine energy, so perfectly timed with our Venus retrograde, with Bloom Brew energy, with the energy of blooming, and our Libra full moon. So tapping into sacred unions, tapping into this energy of, first and foremost, the union between self and source. So this energy of coming inward, reminding yourself that God is within. And when you remind yourself that God is within, you can never be without. So whether it's a union externally that you are waiting for, come into union with yourself. Everything else must find its way to you. This is the energy, again, of making room to bloom. When you clear out what doesn't serve, when you clear out blockages, again, release to increase. That is when the bloom can come through. That is when the increase can come through. So tap in with this energy of beloved within so that you can bring in the energy of the outer relationships. But it all starts within. It all starts with your relationship with yourself and source. So let's see clarification in regards to this beloved within and your inner and outer relationships. Tapping in for the Aries Rising collective. Give thanks, Spirit. Would you like to clarify these energies for them? Thank you, thank you. All right. We've got the moon. There we go. Tapping into the full moon that is going to be tapping in on the same day that Venus goes direct. The moon is all about divine feminine energy. It's about receptive mode, but full moon energy, which we can see right here, and tapping in very much to the energy of being submersed, being underwater in that sense. A lot of things when we tap into the energy of the moon is things that aren't really revealed yet. And that's, again, part of this energy of release to increase, the part of the energy of this room to bloom, right? When things are not really as prominent, and we're making space to clear out what is blocking us, what is not coming through because of things that are bogging down the energy. The full moons also illuminate a lot of things for us. So for Aries Rising, you're definitely going to start to pay more attention, and things are going to start to be illuminated a lot more for you through this week, leading into this Venus going direct on the same day that our full pink moon in Libra, again, Libra and Venus in alignment, is going to come through for you. So very, very, very powerful for you. And then we've got the Ace of Swords in the reversal energy. And whenever I see, particularly in this deck, when you see this Nautilus energy and the spiral energy, in many ways you might feel like you're kind of doing some type of loop effect. But we've got this light that is shining through at the center here. That is about the center core that is going to start to be illuminated, just like we're seeing here with the moon energy, what's within, right? Inner and outer relationships, the beloved within. You're looking into yourself to find your inner light, to find that inner truth, and then everything else is going to make its way. This is, again, release to increase, room to bloom. So the work is being done for you. And then you've got the Knight of Pentacles. And with the Knight of Pentacles, it's about surveying the land. Before you just start planting seeds willy-nilly, you want to really take your time. That's what retrograde energy is all about. But clearly, once this retrograde is past, once you're in this energy of, again, room to bloom, you're clearing things out. Full moons are all about clearing things out, right? Releasing so that the increase can come through. Once that is done, you are plucking weeds during the full moon season so that you can prepare to plant these seeds come the new moon that is going to be following up after this full moon. So very, very powerful for you as you're tapping in to this energy of sacred unions. Relationship has an opportunity, if you're single, to come through and find its way, or for you to really kind of be able to get more in alignment with yourself, again, with self and source, so that you can really pinpoint exactly who it is you're making space for. But you got to love on yourself the way that you want to be loved on. You know what I'm saying? So this is a perfect time to practice that, to be able to really identify a lot clearer what kind of sacred union you are looking for. And ultimately, the sacred union in itself, because unions are unions, but sacred union, that's a soulmate connection. That's a twin flame alignment. Like, you want something that deep. So if you want it that deep, you got to go that deep. You got to be that deep. So do the work. Again, last 6 days of Venus retrograde, the absolute perfect time to do that work. And when Venus goes direct, there's going to be so much redirection in regards to what it is that you want in order to find that beloved within. And then as a result, find the beloved that is meant for you and to share your life. If you're in union and in relationship already, you're going to start to get a lot more clarity in regards to how you want to communicate things, reformat things, readdress things. There may be a lot of breakups that are happening during this time as well because of this going inward, because of Venus giving us this sense of self-love, self-worth, self-value, and ultimately being a lot more honest with ourselves in regards to when it ain't it, we kind of know, and it's hard to unknow, and it's hard to not see once you can see it, right? So that's it. That's it for the Aries Rising Collective. I hope that resonates with you. If so, then please do put the Aries emoji in the comments below, and we will keep it moving. And I do appreciate everybody popping in, and for the comments. I do have a tendency to just kind of get through the messages, get through the cards, and don't really read the comments and such for this particular one. But if you tune in on Tuesdays, Tuesday Tea at 2, right here on YouTube, as well as on my Instagram, I definitely take the time to read all the comments and really connect and make it more of a communal space. So I thank you for being here and for your messages. Appreciate you. Taurus Rising, you're up. Let's see what is meant for you to keep most in mind and heart this week to help everything rise into place. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. This Rose Oracle, this Venus retrograde, this tapping into the coming up pink moon in Libra, tapping into Venus energy is all about the soft season. The room to bloom, bloom brew is all about feeling like a flower, being delicate, being in this energy of expansion, of just opening up because you feel safe enough to open. And again, acknowledging that you are not broken. That even when we're putting our pieces back together again, our pieces are all there, they're all intact. It's just sometimes there's a little bit of a fragmentation. And when we're tapping into the energy of fragmentation, then we just need to come back together, put our pieces back together again to maintain that peace ultimately. So remind yourself that the healing is happening, the work is being done. You are in an energy of transition and of flow and this, glow and grow and all of the energy that surrounds that, and that it's supposed to be challenging sometimes, right? And a lot of transformation happens in the dark, and they say it's always darkest before dawn, but we come into this energy of timing is divine. And when the healing is meant, everything that you've learned through the trials, through the triumphs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all contributed to this healing ultimately. And when we think about the energy of healing, it is so bittersweet because you can only be healing if something is hurting, right? Whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whatever it may be. But ultimately, the energy of healing is so cathartic. It's so beautiful. It's so powerful. And it's so in an energy of being so resilient and reminding yourself of your resilience. And if you don't have anything to heal, then you're not really reminded of your resilience. So through all of this, through the healing, through the reminders of what's hurting and what needs to be healed, acknowledge your resilience through it. And that should help you get through the healing process that much quicker. But the healing is also continual because you might heal from one thing, but then something else happens because we're in this three-dimensional reality and it's just part of the game. But you're not a player in this game. You are a programmer. So it's really just up to you exactly how quickly you want to heal, how much you want to process something, how you want to process something. And it's all about perspective. All and everything is about perspective. So the healing is happening. You're doing the work. There's more to come, good, bad, and ugly, but you're going to get through it. Again, that energy of this too shall pass is what's up for you, Taurus Rising. And then we've got, there we go with the healing. What needs to be healed, because there is an energy of the Nine of Swords, of feeling a little bit forlorn, feeling a little bit, like you're kind of thinking a lot and maybe not really sleeping very well, up at night thinking and processing things, a little bit nervous, having a little bit of anxiety about a few things. Could be financial, especially as we're tapping into Venus retrograde right now, right? So we're processing a lot of the voids that we're feeling in regards to love, in regards to finances, relationships, all of these things. And this is why we have to go back inward. So as you're tapping into this energy of the healing happening, remind yourself again of what you've already gone through. And what it is that, anything can come your way when you think about what you've conquered, what you've endured, how you've had opportunities for second life in some cases, right? Like when we think about life and how things happen, there's been so much, I'm sure, that you can say that you conquered, that you got to start over, that you got to start fresh. So nothing that can happen to you cannot have the exact same result. And if anything, it'll be easier for you to do and for you to conquer and for you to heal from because of what you've already endured. And because of the resilience and the strength that's just like a muscle, just like when you're working out, as long as you pick up that weight a little bit every day, you have to get stronger. There's no way that you're not stronger for it. So align yourself with that energy of the fact that, again, the healing is happening. And even when it does feel like there's a lot on your mind and you're a little bit nervous and it's heavy and it's very much weighing on you, you're going to get through it because, wow, look at what you've gone through already. I had a feeling this would come. It's so interesting. When I first read the Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords came to mind. And I was like, nope, that's the 9. You've got it right here, but it's in the reversal position. And this is what is so powerful because of this augmenting energy. Whenever cards come with a 9 and a 10, an 8 and a 9, or 7 and a 6 and a 7, whatever it may be in cards, especially in the same suit, it shows an augmenting of an energy. It shows a lift in the message. So this energy of, yes, feeling a little bit nervous and thinking of things and a little bit of a, anxiety about certain things, kind of being kept up at night or staying up, not even if you're just laying in bed and you can't sleep, but staying up late, staying busy so that you don't necessarily have to think, doing things that kind of you want to turn off your mind, that kind of thing is also the energy of the Nine of Swords. But with the Ten of Swords, this is an energy of feeling, when it's in the upright position, of kind of being stabbed in the back, feeling a sense of betrayal, feeling a heaviness. But with the reversal energy here, it's, yes, darkest before the dawn, but that you're focusing on the dawn. And there's so much crazy that is happening right now. There's no question about it. But when you tap into the Ten of Swords in the reversal position, you are ready to focus on the light. And with spring being here and we're leading into summertime, the sun is shining a little bit brighter. Be out in nature, ground your feet, plant some flowers, like just be, again, room to bloom energy. Give yourself that room to bloom, regardless of what it is that's happening. And there's going to be so much more healing that comes through that. There's going to be so much more of that reminder that you're so resilient. So there's no way that you can be broken, because the things that could have happened, that could have broken you and you're still here, that could have ended you, that tried to end you and you're still here. Start with that, and it's going to keep you completely in alignment. Page of Wands, new beginnings in a creative project. There's something that you want to feel a little bit more about, right? Something that you might be doing, but you feel like you're missing that energy of like, I want to feel the passion and the fire in this. I want to feel like a kid again in this. It's coming. And again, it's a choice ultimately, but it really does feel, especially with this augmenting energy, you're like, I'm not going to just be stuck in my head about this thing. I'm not going to be worried about it. I'm not going to be focused on what's worrying me and, the broken part that I'm feeling. I'm not broken. Like, this is happening. Everything is happening. I always say it's happening for me. It's not happening to me. And once you change that perspective, you become a victor instead of a victim. And that's what makes this Ten of Swords be in the reversal position, where you're focusing on the light, focusing on the creative passion, focusing on the drive, focusing on what makes you feel young again and makes you feel like looking at what you do and being so in awe, versus it being kind of regular or you being used to it. Having a different perspective of what you do and what you're good at is it as if it's something new, and it's going to create something new. There's going to be a new kind of surge in your muse through this journey. That's going to be really powerful for you. Six of Swords in the reversal position is thinking about moving from choppy waters to more stable waters. The reversal, though, is definitely showing some sense of delay. And that's just this energy that's here, where it's so important for you to change that perspective. And this delay can literally just be about the next 6 days in terms of the last lap of Venus retrograde. Once that Venus retrograde energy goes direct, you are in an energy now of going direct. So take these next 6 days between now and the 12th of April, that is going to coincide with a Venus-ruled full moon, pink moon in Libra, and completely fall into love with yourself and your personal and passionate and creative projects, so that once that energy comes through and April 12th comes through, you can really feel this new insurgence of passion and fuel and fire and just being in love with you and with what you do and who you are. And that's definitely what's going to change this energy right side up. And you're going to be able to take a different course and get over to the calmer waters. Awesome. That is for you, Taurus risings. I do hope that that resonates and helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. If you do resonate with that reading and you do claim that reading, then just pop down the Taurus emoji in the comment section below. And we're going to keep it moving. We are going to keep it moving for the Gemini Rising Collective. Tapping in for the Gemini Risings. Let's see what you need to keep most in mind and heart this week to help everything rise into place. Ashe. You've got the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. This is all about this Venus retrograde energy, the last 6 days of Venus retrograde. It is absolutely about taking that time, this past 40 days, right? Or full 40 days of Venus retrograde is all about taking it inward, self-love, making sure that your cup runneth over. So this is why the sacred waters are so powerful here. Your cup runneth over, and letting others drink of the overflow. If you have not been doing that enough through this Venus retrograde, you've got this last week, this last 6 days, which is the most powerful energy through this retrograde anyway, because Venus rules the number 6. So the last 6 days before this direct motion that will coincide on April 12th with our full pink moon in Libra, and Venus rules Libra, such a powerful alignment for going back inward, for coming out into the world, redirecting your energy after taking things in and tapping more into self-love. And again, filling and refilling your own cup, not waiting for other people to do that for you, not being in an energy of depletion. You want to be in an energy of replenishment. That's exactly nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care, and just continue to top yourself off, because the more you give yourself, the more that you can give others anyway. But more than that, you're setting an example. You're putting out for the world and for everybody to see, ultimately, this is me, this is how I see me, and this is what it requires to be in my space, in my sacred space, to get a drop of my sacred waters. So until you do it for yourself, it's going to be impossible for you to receive it, and definitely not the message that you're going to be sending out. So tap in, like I said, specifically the next 6 days, to really evaluate what exactly that you feel might be missing in regards to you not sending the right message out. And just first and foremost, do the work for yourself. Be for you what you want somebody to be for you. Do for you what you want somebody to do for you. And it is done. Now we've got our 6 of Swords and our 2 of Pentacles. 6 of Swords in the upright position is tapping into moving from choppy waters into calmer waters. You are absolutely ready to do that. And it is definitely going to be inevitable once you continue to, again, just pour into yourself. Literally, let your cup runneth over. Let others drink of the overflow. Nobody will be thirsty if your cup is overflowing. But it's going to be very hard for that to happen if you are depleting yourself and allowing other people to deplete you. There's choppy waters, there's going to be challenges, and they're going to be repeated, right? Even when you move on to calmer waters, something might happen to pull you back into the other tide. But know that it is an ebb and flow, just like the ocean works, and that you will find your way back into the calmer waters as long as you continue to pour the waters over yourself that are necessary and required for your healing and for your self-nourishment. 2 of Pentacles in the reversal position is ultimately you realizing that there is something that you're juggling. There is a little bit of an anxiety and a little bit of a stress because it feels like an obligatory kind of handling. And with the reversal, you're ready to put it down. And there's an option. There's got 2 things that you're juggling here, right? It's a loop effect. It's kind of this, like, I always say, like the energy of the not so merry-go-round, right? That you want to get off the ride and you have a choice to make, right? You can choose one or the other and free up one of the hands, or you can put them both down. And that's really the question in terms of what it is that you feel like you're juggling. And if putting them both down, especially again in the last 6 days of Venus retrograde, so that you can really just focus on yourself for a minute and then decide what, if anything, you want to pick back up. Whether it's between these 2 things or if there are more things or whatever it may be, just taking that time inward to reflect so that you can decide exactly what kind of weight you want to carry, how you want to fill up your hands. Because when we tap into this energy of release to increase, making room to bloom, when you're holding on to things, you can't pick something else up. Spirit can't put anything else in your hands because your hands are occupied. So the question is really going to be, what is it that you choose to put down? How are you freeing up your hands? Our palms are portals for everything that we wish to hold. So when our palms are free and open, that is when we can actually receive. And if you know that you're holding on to something and there's more in store, then you've got to put it down in order for you to make space for it. So it's definitely the energy that is for you, Gemini Rising. So I do hope that that resonates with you. I hope it helps everything rise into place and nothing is falling. It is only up from here. And if you do resonate with that reading, then please do put the Gemini symbol emoji in the comments below. And we're going to keep it moving for the Cancer Risings. Tapping in for the Cancer Rising Collective. Let's see what you need to keep most in mind and heart this week to help everything rise into place. Let's see. Cancer Risings, the Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. This is divine feminine energy. This is so Venus energy. This is Aset energy, Isis, depending on how it is that you choose. Aset is her true name. And it's really about coming into your own divine feminine energy, the lack of separation that there is ultimately between you and the Great Mother. Whether you're male or female, we are divine masculine, we are divine feminine, but the divine feminine is the energy that receives. The divine feminine energy is the energy that creates. The divine feminine energy is the energy that blooms. And we are tapping into a bloom that is happening, an expansion that is happening, especially as we are now going inward with Venus retrograde and preparing ourselves for the energy of coming outward again of blooming when Venus goes direct on April 12th, on the same day that our pink full moon in Libra, Venus and Libra in alignment, come into this energy of self-love. And now I can make space for the who and the what and the when and the more and all of the things, because I have a better idea of my self-expression, of my self-worth, of my self-value, of what I want, of how I want to be loved, because I'm loving on myself that way and I cannot have it any other way. That is definitely what this energy is all about. And the Great Mother and our alignment with the Great Mother will absolutely remind us of that. This energy of fall into her arms is really a surrender, of lean back, of trust the process, of timing is divine, of gratitude and faith and patience, and knowing that we are absolutely covered. So you're covered. Cancer risings, you are covered. Fall into her arms. Trust the Great Mother and the Great Mother that is within you as well. She is not outside of you. She is within you. So co-curate, co-create with the Great Mother. Ashe. Thanks, Spirit. Happily in. Ooh, stack energy. Let's see what we got. Turn that whole deck around, the whole card around. We've got the Nine of Wands, feeling an energy of a little bit of defensiveness, but you want to put the weapons down. So that's very, very powerful, especially if we're tapping into this energy of surrender and release. Queen of Pentacles, you are ready to be as resourceful as you know that you are, and to plant very, very fruitful seeds in fertile soil. Sometimes we just be planting our seeds any kind of way, in any kind of place. You are in an energy now where you're realizing that you have to be a lot more discerning in regards to where you're planting your seeds, what seeds you are actually planting, where they are, what seeds you're putting next to, and all of these things, and being a lot more strategic in the whole planning and process of your seed planting. Four of Cups, there's something so much more in store that is meant for you. And just come out of this energy of apathy, of not paying attention because you might miss it. And Spirit really doesn't want you to miss it. And this is why tapping into the energy of the Great Mother within you is going to keep you blooming, is going to keep you open, is going to keep your head up so that you don't miss any additional blessings that are coming through for you. Got the Knight of Wands, so very, very powerful energy in regards to creation, creatrix, in regards to creativity, and just beating on a new drum, creating and reminding yourself that the drum that you beat, good, bad, or ugly, is what is going to repeat. The drum that you beat is going to be what repeats. That is just what it is. So tap in and be very, very mindful of what it is that you are beating on, the things that you continue to tell yourself, the narratives, the stories that you tell yourself, because subconscious loves repetition. Doesn't matter what you tell it. It's just going to prove to you what you continue to tell it. So be very, very mindful and soulful in regards to what are those things that are being repeated that you're telling your subconscious. Ace of Pentacles, there's that seed. Those are those seeds that are being planted, and why you are so resourceful as the Queen of Pentacles, because you have a new seed. And this seed energy with this card, what I love about it the most is that this seed is, again, I was just talking, I don't remember which sign it was, but talking about the palms being portals for everything that we wish to hold. And when we tap into that, we've got to make sure that we relinquish what doesn't serve us so that we can free up our hands to then be able to receive what is coming, right? To have our hands free, to be able to plant the seeds, to be able to be in that receptive mode. So this card is literally giving you the exact image that I was just tapping into. And then we've got the dual energy of the roots growing from this seed, as well as this energy of water seeping and flowing through our fingertips, right? So this energy of the water that is needed for the seed to be planted, the alignment with earth and the water and those elements, so required for our planting of seeds, to make sure. And then reminding ourselves that the roots happen under the surface. So we might not be seeing the growth, but it's happening. It is absolutely happening. And that is where faith is important and required. And then it is through that process that we then start to see the bud and the bloom coming through the surface. So it is inevitable. It is for you. Very excited because it's just so much alignment. Page of Cups. And this here tapping into the energy of an apology, tapping into love offer, and somebody that could potentially be younger than you, or somebody that you've had a connection with since you were young, that may be coming back through. Again, we're dealing with Venus retrograde right now, so there is a lot of that returning energy, and you have to make sure that you are returning to yourself through it all. So as you return to yourself through this process, it is going to bring you back to an energy of self-love, that even if certain dynamics do return, you're going to be a lot more discerning to be able to say, I'm in a new place right now when it comes to my self-love, and I can acknowledge very clearly that I deserve more, and that if I'm giving it to myself, there's no way that I can accept less from anyone else externally, especially knowing that that's just going to make me have less and have less time for myself. So if I'm giving myself what I need, but I can open myself up to somebody that's not going to be able to give me what I need, but yet I'm going to be dividing my time to give them what they need, the math ain't mathin'. And it's going to be a lot clearer to you through this journey, through this process, and the more that you tap into the energy of the Great Mother that is within you, and just that surrender and falling into her arms. Three of Wands, very powerful energy in regards to waiting for your ships to come in, and being, again, that energy of patience and gratitude and faith, of knowing that it is inevitable. When you're tapping in with this card and tapping into this energy of the surf and surrounded by fire. So it's an interesting dynamic with the water energy and a beach, but you're surrounded by fire, and it looks like, this, like the water is lava, right? It's because of the passion that is surrounding it. It's because it's about your muse, and it's about the fire in your belly, and what is it that you love to do more than anything? First of all, you should love on yourself more than anything and anyone, because anything that we want is already in us. It's nothing outside. There's nothing that we can have or don't have. It's really just about us reminding ourselves of who we are. So when you tap into that fire in your belly and your sacral chakra energy, that is where things are birthed, quite literally. So what is it that you are birthing? What is it that you are setting ablaze in your life that is going to make those ships come in? Because with the reversal here, there's a little bit of a delay in regards to that, which makes sense because we're seeing the energy of the Four of Cups, of not necessarily seeing the extra and the more in store that is meant for you. And that also the energy of making sure you release what it is that you don't want to hinder your increase, right? This energy of making room to bloom. Discard what is not for you so that you can actually make space for it, so that those ships can come in. Because last but not least, you got the Sun card. That is the happiest card in the deck, because it is more than anything not about anybody else or any external circumstance. It's about your soul. It's about you feeling surrendered and so safe in that, feeling a sense of sanctuary within yourself. When you are in that energy, that is about the who you are. There's no way that you cannot be in your purpose and live and fulfill your soul's mission. This is the perfect way to conclude this energy of surrender and falling into the arms of the Great Mother, because you are so divinely protected and there is such a shine to you. And as much as you can, stand under the sun, say your affirmations and declarations under the sun, and it's just going to help things just get so much more clear, so much brighter, so much more in depth and in alignment, so that you can tap in more and more and more for the more in store, ultimately. So that resonates, and I hope that it does, and I hope that it helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here for you Cancer risings. Please do put the Cancer symbol emoji in the comments below. And that is your very, very extensive message, because you got like 7 cards or something. So Cancer risings, that was for you. We're going to keep it moving and tapping in for the Leo Rising Collective. Hello, Leo. Let's see what it is that you need to keep most in mind and heart this week to help everything rise into place. Ashe for the Leo Rising Collective. Give thanks, Spirit. Oh, we got some cards flipped out. Let's put those back in. Oh, no, we just got one. So that's your card. That's definitely your card. Yep. The Rose Garden. Innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. Innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself, the rose garden. This energy also reminds me of the fact that some flowers and roses in particular have a second bloom. And sometimes we're really hard on ourselves if we feel like we didn't do something in time, or that it's over, or there's a loss, or there's a lack, or we missed a deadline, or whatever the case is, or that we've already reached the pinnacle. And then all of a sudden you look at this rose and you think it was done, that it's dead, and that it's already, starting to wither. And then all of a sudden it's got a second bloom. All of a sudden there's just more buds that start to show up in the rose garden. So you have so many parts to you that align with the rose garden. And whatever it is that you feel has withered, there's so much more opportunity for something to bloom still from that. So be gentle with yourself. Make sure that you are in an alignment of innocence, of forgiveness, first and foremost with yourself. Again, if you're being too hard on yourself about anything that you feel you didn't get done in time, or you shouldn't have done, or whatever the case is, just clear that out. Like, literally don't put yourself through it. It's not even worth it. And it's just going to block your blessings. Ultimately, there is an avalanche of abundance that is accumulating with all of the things that we do and say that we feel like, when is it coming? When is it coming? Does it matter? Like, if we believe in timing is divine, and if we have no doubt that it's coming, if anything, the longer it takes, the more that's coming. So I'm like, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? So this is an energy of, like, just again, faith, gratitude, and patience. And it will come quicker if you are in those alignments, because it's part of the detachment. It's part of the surrender. It's part of the I trust. It's part of that timing is divine. And then all of a sudden Spirit's like, oh yeah, I think they really got it this time. Bloop. There you go. Good job, right? So tap into that energy of being gentle with yourself, of forgiveness, of innocence, of the youthfulness, being free, surrendering, and so much to come for you. Indeed. I'm seeing the comments. I can't read them out, but yes. I see you and I appreciate you. So let's tap in for further clarification for Leos. But indeed, avalanche of abundance building up. It is building up. And we've got the Seven of Cups, for you in the reversal energy. And this is very many options, lots. Again, we're talking about the avalanche of abundance, right? There's so much that is coming and that is there for you. But we have to remind ourselves, and particularly you have to remind yourself, and through things that are maybe occurring this week, that not everything is like that is presented is there for you and meant for you in that sense, right? There's certain things we have to tap into the energy of discernment, of perspective, of being selective, right? And just being a little bit mindful and soulful in regards to the things that we choose, the people that we choose, the environments that we put ourselves in, who we allow to have access to our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our energy, our conversation, our time, whatever it may be. So think about that, especially in the reversal position. That is going to be a lot more challenge surrounding the options that you have, for you to not make too many hasty decisions. And it's particularly important during these last 6 days of Venus retrograde, because you don't want to start anything new during a retrograde, and especially in regards to finances and love and or relationships in that regard. So somebody comes through right now, kind of just give it a little bit of a pause, process, focus on yourself, tap into your self-love. And that way you're going to know if this person is really, really meant for you, because you're going to go through the process of what it is that you really, really want to experience. And then it's going to be obvious if they cut it or not, right? Because what is meant for you is 10 of Pentacles energy. And that is like legacy. That is like inheritance. That is building such a powerful union and such a powerful family, that it's not just about coming into connection with another person. It's about empire building. It's about what you're leaving behind for the children that you have together, for the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren, and the businesses that you can build together. You want somebody and a connection and an alignment that you're not just in alignment for one thing. You want to be able to do multiple things together to build this kind of empire, to build this kind of legacy. Don't second guess that, and don't settle for less. That's really what it's about. Which is, again, why the options are going to be very, very challenging for you, because something right now, and again, all we have is the moments and all we have is now, and that's fair, but we do also have to think about how we see ourselves in the future and who we see in the future. Who is there with us? What kind of energy, what kind of love, what kind of alignments, what kind of friendships, what kind of partnerships do we want to have an experience? And as a result, we have to start implementing those choices and those details now in order for that to actually have a better chance of being implemented in the future. So if you know that there is an option that sure now sounds good, but you won't necessarily be able to build an empire with, and that's really what you want and what you see for your future, don't delay it. Don't waste time, you know? So, and then the Tower, because then ultimately you can burn it all to hell. And that's not worth it, right? Especially not for a quick fix or for feeling a sense of loneliness and I just want to get my rocks off, or I just want to get an itch scratched, or you know what I mean? Like, we really do have to think about things long haul and the bigger picture and all of that stuff. And yes, all we have are the moments, I'll always say, but in the moment, it still has to feel really, really right, not just good. Because a lot of things feel good that aren't necessarily good for us, right? And this is, again, what the Seven of Cups is all about. A lot might look good, but any cup that is reversed, the water can't stay in it. So you have to make sure whatever it is and whoever it is that you are filling up isn't just going to turn that cup upside down and waste everything that you just poured into it. That's a bar. King of Pentacles energy. This is part of this tapping in with the 10 of Pentacles, because not only are you the King of Pentacles where money on your mind and you're trying to get things done right, Venus is again about love and finances. So when you tap into a Venus alignment, Venus retrograde, going direct on the same day that a Venus ruled Libra full moon is happening, pink moon at that, tapping into the bloom, tapping into flowers, tapping into just that expansion energy, you want to make sure that people are on board and the partner that you have in mind is on board in that same vein. That again, you're not just connecting sexually, you're not just connecting emotionally, but you're connecting financially, you're connecting economically, you're connecting globally, you're connecting with a general idea of what does life look like and how are we building this thing together. Again, when we tap into the Tower, there's an energy of when things are rock bottom, when things are in shambles, whatever might happen, you've got to build back from that. But you need a super solid foundation to make sure that you can build as high as you want and not have to worry about it crumbling again. So when you're tapping into the options, at the end of the day, Leo Rising, you want to make sure that you are choosing someone, that you are being, first of all, someone, and then choosing someone that you can share this kind of future with, but you have to build it together. You don't want to be with somebody where you're the one building this thing and then they just get to enjoy it with you, right? You want to make sure that you are both in alignment to create this kind of abundance, to create this kind of energy. This is where when we tap into, again, starting from the beginning, that rose garden, that second bloom of so much more that can happen. The innocence, the forgiveness, the release to increase so that you can make space for what is meant for you. It's all here. And start off by being gentle with yourself. And it's all going to flow, and it's all going to glow, and it's all going to grow. So that's for you, Leo Risings. I do hope that that resonates and helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. I do hope that helps. And if it does resonate, then please put the Leo emoji in the comments below. Ashe. I see your comments and I see your questions, and I'm actually not answering questions in this particular live, but if you do tap in or follow up with me, I can absolutely tap into that question for you. So you can follow me on Instagram, Sabrina Sahara Shares, or you can email me backiinatural@gmail.com, and it's an II in between. So BACKIINATURAL@gmail.com. And that will be your message. When you touch base, I will definitely be able to answer that for you. So just want to get back into alignment. So I'm going to put that card back because I do have to tap into Virgo Rising. It is your turn, Virgo Rising. Let us see what is in store for you this week, what you need to keep most in mind and heart this week to help everything rise into place. Tapping in for the Virgo Rising Collective. Thank you, Spirit. What would you have the Virgo Rising Collective know? Second one for this week. For you as well, the Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms, Virgos. You want to tap into this energy of release to increase, make room to bloom, surrender. Just lean back, This is the energy, and tapping into divine feminine energy. Whether you're male or female, when you tap into divine feminine energy, you are tapping into creation and creatrix and creativity. You're tapping into your sacral chakra that creates things, that builds things, that makes things, that ultimately will leave the legacy that when you're gone from this world, from this planet, you're going to leave something behind. So tap into this energy of the Great Mother, of surrendering to the mystery, to the unknown. This is serenity energy, right? And just kind of be at peace with what it all is and what it is meant to be, because if it's for you, it cannot miss you. And that's the best part. We're not supposed to know all the answers all the time, because then what fun would that be, right? Surrender. And also acknowledge that this tapping in to the Great Mother is not something, someone, some idea outside of you, that she is within you. She is a part of you. You are the Great Mother. This is an energy of co-creation and co-curation. You are a programmer in this game, not a player. Players get played, okay? You are programming this energy. So tap in to the Great Mother within and literally decide what it is that you want to experience in this dimension at this time, in this timeline, until the new one is ready for you, or until you're ready for the new one, ultimately. Tapping in for further clarification for Virgo Risings. Give thanks, Spirit. What else would you have them know? Stack energy. We started off with one, Ace of Cups in the reversal position. We're tapping into our Venus retrograde, going into the last 6 days of Venus retrograde. And on the day, April 12th, when Venus goes direct, she will be going direct with her Libra moon, pink moon, full moon. So very, very powerful. And it's all about that cup runneth over, pouring into yourself, letting others drink of the overflow. And with this energy, whenever a cup is in reverse, the water is falling out. So you have to make sure the energy of self-love is what you are practicing more than anything. And clearly there's some more that needs to be done. And the best time to do it is the rest of this week, before this direct motion of Venus that taps in again with this Libra full moon. So take the time, focus on yourself, go inward, maybe give certain relationships and dynamics a little bit of a hold, a little bit of a break, and let them know that you need to kind of focus on yourself right now for this next, 6 days, to really get a lot more clarity in regards to what it is that you need to get this energy right side up again, to heal your heart, to tap into your sacral chakra, what it is that you want to birth, what it is that you want to create, and ultimately practicing on yourself how you want to be loved. Do it for yourself, because it makes it that much harder for you to accept anything less when you already know what it feels like. And why would you divide your energy in somebody else or with someone else who's not giving you how you make yourself feel alone? Like, the math just doesn't math, right? So do that work, take that time, and it's just going to be so much easier for you to be a lot more discerning with other dynamics. So yes, definitely tap in for me, reach out to me, and I'll be able to answer that question. I do see that. I do see you. Queen of Cups, tapping in yet again. This is the energy of self-love. And you're such a great lover in more ways than one, right? But for you, what about you? There's a imbalance here in regards to how awesome of a lover you are, because you're definitely giving more outside than inside. And the best part about going back inside and doing for you the same and more than you do for others is that you are going to then be able to give them more anyway. And you are going to continue to be able to replenish yourself, to be able to give to yourself and them, but they will be drinking of an overflow instead of a depleted cup, an empty cup, ultimately. What else can you give if you're empty? How can you give if you're empty? So as much as it may be easier to give to others, ironically, loving yourself is the best way to love others. So start with that and allow yourself to be comfortable with giving to yourself, especially because ultimately it serves everyone in the long run anyway. You've got the Emperor in reverse, and this is kind of, again, lack of stability and lack of security, lack of feeling very sure of how you are processing things. And that could just be that in-between energy of giving too much to others and not giving enough to yourself. And if you're in a dynamic, in a relationship with someone, and this is particularly for divine feminine energy, this message could be just for one person in particular. But if you are in a relationship with a man that is very much masculine energy, very strong, very emperor-like, but is showing a sense of inconsistency and a lack of strength, a lack of showing up for you, a lack of really being your anchor, you have to very, very much decide this week, and particularly as you're going through the last 6 days of this Venus retrograde, if you are going to continue to accept that role and that dynamic, or if you want to make space for a true emperor that is going to not just see you as the empress that you are, but treat you as such. So that could be for one person in particular, but that came in very clearly. King of Wands, this is tapping into your creative center. This is about the fire in your belly. It's about leadership. And this also taps into that similar message with this emperor in reverse. For this particular person, whoever it is resonating with, you want a lion. You want somebody that feels like he is showing up for you. But the contrast in some ways when it comes to the lion is that the lion is also the only male energy with a harem of lionesses, right? And in more times than not, the lion is kind of chilling under the shade, just waiting for the lioness to bring him some meat, right? So you do have to question if you are in a dynamic where you don't feel like the only one, or you feel like you're doing more of the work and you feel like he's just chilling and has a very, very easy life. And the women around him, including you, are the ones that are actually doing the hunting. When if they're supposed to be king of the jungle, then they should be doing some of the work. So pay attention to that. Indeed. We've got some Pentacles energies here with our Ace of Pentacles. So you've got a new seed that you are ready to plant. So across the board, this is tapping into, again, this energy of making sure that your hands are free to be able to hold this new seed, to be able to plant this new seed. If you're holding on to something or someone that is tying your hands and that makes you feel trapped and locked and not really expansive and not really appreciated and not blooming and not like the delicate flower that you are, that is supposed to be in receptive mode and should be practicing receptive mode, you need to free up your hands to make space. Our hands, our palms are portals for everything we wish to hold. So when you tap into freeing up your hands and having your portal palms up and out and telling spirit, it's free now, I'm ready to receive the more in store, it's the only way that can happen. And then once it happens and you get that seed, that new seed, that seed that is meant for you plopped into your palms, that is when the growth starts to happen. And that is when you have this energy of the roots coming through, but you've also got the parallel energy of the water seeping through. That is required and necessary for this seed to grow. That is required for your cup to runneth over. This is the runneth over right here, literally. The energy of runneth over. So you want to get this energy right side up again so that, first of all, again, upside down cup, water can't stay. So you want to get it right side up again so that this overflow starts to go through. You can see it all here. Others should be drinking of your overflow, not depleting you. And definitely there's nothing to give if your cup is empty. And be very, very discerning and survey the land in regards to where you are planting this seed, how you are putting this seed, where you're putting this seed, what you're putting this seed next to, what kind of access you are giving this seed, how you are nurturing this seed. Ultimately, you are the seed, because anything and everything that we want, it is already in us, and it can only happen based on the who we are, tapping into the alignment that we're in. Everything else is just stuff, and it cannot miss us when we're in alignment. So tap into that alignment, tap into that growth, tap into the seed itself, and you being the seed and how you want to treat yourself. Because no matter what the message that you send people, if you stay in something that doesn't feel good, it's not just that it's okay, it's that you like it. And if that's the message that they're getting, then they think they're doing you a favor, treating you how they're treating you. Why would they do different? If you're there, if you're allowing it, if you're saying, yeah, give me more because I'm going to keep giving you access and giving you the opportunity to do it, there's no change that is going to be prompted and initiated on their part. If anything, again, you're giving the message that you like it. That's it's cool. Yeah, give me more. You know what I mean? So you are more. You are so much more. You are supposed to be getting accolades and having such an incredible reputation and like people speaking your name and talking and just like under the spotlight. There's a fame quality to you. There's a celebrity status that is either you already or what is meant and what is on its way, but you're kind of potentially blocking yourself. There's something that is holding up energy that's putting you to work. That's not your work, ultimately. And that's what the Great Mother energy is tapping into and telling you. And this is why this energy of surrender and fall into her arms is because sometimes we hold on to something because we don't know what else is there and we're worried about what's next. And ultimately we have this energy of like the devil we know versus the devil we don't know. But I don't know why we got to choose devils at all, right? So this is where you are in the spotlight, have the potential to be in the spotlight, and as a result, choose the light. Choose the light. And whatever doesn't feel light and bright and happy and shiny, and is again speaking your name in a sense with love and with appreciation and with gratitude, then it's not for you. Unless that is what you like. And if it is what you like, then again, that's the message that you're sending, and that's okay. But something tells me that if you are feeling a sense of not being appreciated, that you're starting to get a more clearer idea of the fact that you're not going to get more if you stay where you are. So a lot of more in store for you. Virgo risings, a lot of more in store for you. Libra Rising, you are up next, and you've got a very, very powerful full moon coming on April 12th that is coinciding with Venus going direct, and Venus rules Libra. I mean, Libra Rising. Get ready for this, okay? Get ready for this in an energy of release to increase, of making room to bloom, feel it to heal it, face it to replace it, urge to purge, all of that. Because it is going to be major for you in regards to self-love, in regards to relationships, in regards to finances, in regards to your home, your hearth, how you are expanding in all of those areas. It's going to be major, but it's all about clearing out, because everything that you want, it's already yours. It's already there. It's just got to trickle to the top. So make sure that you are making space for that to come through for you. And let's see what else. That was just a little quick download considering your full moon coming up. You got the wastelands. Here we go. Talking about the urge to purge, the release to increase, all of the things to discard. Sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. Clear out. This is plucking weeds. Full moons are about plucking weeds so that you can plant seeds come new moon. This is the work. When we tap into the energy of the wastelands, it is where we are not getting the full expansion. We are not getting the overflow. Our cup is not runneth over, right? It's cracked and it's dry and it's brittle in regards to our foundations. And you definitely want to make sure that you are clearing out any energy that is blocking your blessings, because there are such like whoa blessings coming for the Libra alignments, especially rising signs, but sun and moon signs and Venus signs as well. So please be in alignment with this energy of when something is not sustainable, when you can imagine your future and you can see the future and you can think about, this is what it looks like. This is what I want. This is what I want to feel, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job or a career or a friendship or whatever. And you can see so clearly what is ideal. And then you're in something that is not that. You got to start clearing that out now. You have to release it to bring in that increase. There's no other way. That's the map. And this is, again, where the question of sustainability is all about. And if you're going to allow things to continue to be cracked and brittle and wondering what can possibly grow from that, if there's no water and this earth is cracked and brittle, there's no way that the roots are going to grow to any seed that you're planting. So pluck the weeds, but you got to make sure that you've got fertile soil to plant those new seeds. And we've got, yes. Page of Swords, Nine of Swords. I'm going to do these two together because they're very much in alignment, because when we're tapping into this energy of sustainability and this cracked, brittle soil and all of these things, you're feeling it because it is weighing on your mind. And it could be keeping you up at night, or you could be just trying to stay really busy at night so that you don't have to feel like you're thinking about it or not sleeping. But it is weighing on you. And it's weighing on you because you know the truth, because you know what's right and what's not. You know what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And you might kind of feel stuck. And the truth of the matter is you're only as stuck as you allow yourself to be. Tapping into the energy of the Page of Swords is that you feel very kind of forced in some ways to stay in a condition or a relationship or a dynamic or a choice or whatever, or even a thought process. It doesn't have to be about anybody external. It can be imposter syndrome. It could be some type of doubt or some naysayer and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, for example, we have people like, that'll pop in on a live and, trolls or whatever because of their religions or because of their perspective or because of what they believe. They try to tell other people, do this, don't do that. I'm watching you. This is going to happen to you. And it's ironic that they can say that speaking from a place of heart and of knowing and speaking from the perspective of being in alignment with a higher power, but yet they're the ones spreading negativity and mean, just being mean in that sense. So just pay attention to anybody watching and speaking and saying anything to you that's going to try to sway you from something, especially if you know that what it is that you're sharing uplifts people regardless of the source. I always say focus on the message, not the messenger. And a lot of fanatics, especially in terms of religion, in terms of their own perspectives or whatever, they focus on the messenger and they feel like it should only come from one source. But yet they often put themselves in this haughty position of being the source. And that is the exact opposite of what the very people that they're speaking about want us to do and have taught to begin with, right? The core of it all is love. The core of it all is self-love. The core of it all is what can you do and share with yourself and others to pick yourself up, to remind yourself how powerful and how beautiful and how in the likeness and image of God that you were created in. So let the naysayers say what they say. Let the judgers and all that stuff do what they do, because they will be judged, but they're not going to be judged by the likes of us, although they're the ones judging, right? The work is going to be done. There is a Most High, and there's only one, right? But we are not separate from that one, regardless of what it is that we believe and how we choose to disseminate the information in light and love. Ashe? And then you've got the Two of Pentacles. And when you tap into the energy of the Two of Pentacles, oftentimes you're juggling things, you're weighing things out. And again, this energy of when your hands are full, it's really hard, right, to hold on to something new, to receive something new. You have to release it. When you release the old, then you make space for the new. When you tap into this energy of your palms being portals to everything that you wish to hold, and you make space, that is when you can receive. That is when you're in the tapping into the energy of receiving mode, and when the Most High, when the Creator can then now put it right in your hands because you have made the space for it. Something's got to be put down, and there may be a dilemma, there may be a choice, there may be this energy of a juggling that you may need to just put one down and make the choice. But there's also a choice to put both of them down and just pause for a minute and be really, really sure about what, if anything, you choose to pick back up. What it is and who it is and how it is that you choose to move forward once you've stopped for a moment to really be reflective, to really be into meditation, really tap into prayer, really connect with self and source, with the Most High, and ask the questions and ask for the guidance that you seek in order to know exactly what choices you're supposed to be making. So I do hope that that resonates. And again, tap into your moon, April 12th, tap into Venus retrograde, going direct on that same day. It's going to be super, super expansive for you. I'm excited for you. It's for the Libra Rising collective. I do hope that that resonates and helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. If you do claim that reading, please do put the Libra emoji in the comments below. And we are going to keep it moving for the Scorpio Rising collective. Speaking to the Scorpio Rising collective, Ashe, Ashe. Tapping in for you. And anyone that is not in alignment with what I'm sharing, why are you here is the question. So clearly there's something I have for you. So you're welcome. You are welcome. And Yeshua thanks you as well. Brought you here. He brought you here. Scorpio Risings. Let's tap in for the Scorpio Rising collective. What would you have, Scorpio Risings? No, at this time. Thanks, Spirit. Held. Ah, you are so held. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Don't do it alone. You might be working on something that you feel like you can't really ask for help, that you feel like you got to figure it out, that could be heavy, and you're trying to hold it on your own. you're getting the message very, very clearly from the Most High that you are supposed to ask for help, that you are supposed to accept help. Sometimes it is hard to ask for help, and I can totally understand and understand that. But sometimes when it's offered, we still have a tendency to, no, I'm fine. No, it's okay, right? Practice, at least if it's harder to ask, when it's offered, at least find that in between to just start to accept the help, to be able to even subtly put it out there to see who is going to be able to offer what it is that you might need. Because it's in those moments of vulnerability that you actually realize just how much your community and so much support that you have ultimately right there at your disposal. So give yourself the opportunity. Let's see as we keep going for Scorpio risings. Further clarification. All right. Woo, you got the Wheel, you got the Fool, my goodness. 3 major arcanas. Scorpio rising, very, very powerful, fixed energy that is bringing in justice, that is bringing in that what goes around comes around, treating others how you want to be treated. And ultimately, even if you're treated wrong, even when, like, again, naysayers and people that, come in with negative energy, they're going to get what's theirs. It doesn't really matter what you do. So just focus on you and focus on the light and focus on love and focus on positivity. There's no way that is not what's going to reach you. So it's also just an energy of, I always say, protect your energy and preserve your peace. And sometimes we're in an energy of misusing and abusing our energy when we try to convince somebody of what it is that we believe. Don't bother. Like, literally don't bother. Put yourself in an energy of, again, protecting your energy, preserving your peace, and people that have certain dynamics and energies that don't align, you won't even have to say anything to them. They will find their way away. They will be ignored. They're literally not even going to be able to reach you. So just focus on that, because the justice is what it is. The karma is what it is. There's no doubt about it. And then when you tap into the Fool energy, it's really about that leap of faith. Faith is everything, because faith is about what's unseen. And when you choose to have faith, you are so rewarded by the Creator. You are so rewarded by your angels. You are so rewarded by your ancestors, because they know that they're not necessarily giving you any proof, but they don't need to, because you're like, I feel you. I am so held. You feel so held by them that that's all the proof you need, that it doesn't even have to be a tangible hold, but yet feels so tangible. You are going to be so rewarded for that. So jump off the cliff in that regard. Whatever it is that you feel so passionate about, that you feel that no matter what happens, they're going to catch you, right? It's just like that trust game. When you're with somebody and you kind of just fall back, and you can only do it if you really trust somebody. You got to do that with God. You have to do that with your ancestors. You have to do that with your angels. Just fall back. Just let it go. Jump off the cliff and have the faith that they're going to catch you. Because it is through that faith that you get rewarded, that they're like, well done, well done. And then the wheel turns, and then there's a whole new fortune that is ahead for you. You've spun the wheel in a different way with this energy of faith and patience and gratitude that is going to bring you to a whole new timeline. The wheel of life, the circle of life, all of that, it just continues to go and it continues to grow. And it's a choice that you have to make every single day when you tap into an energy of justice and karma, and making sure that you are putting out into the world what it is that you want to receive back, what it is that you believe in, that you're so ready to be so faithful. And there's faithful, right? When you're faithful and loyal, but then the energy of faithful, F-U-L-L, is full of faith. And when you are full of faith, there is absolutely a whole new timeline that is awaiting you. And that you're going to feel so much more protected and so much more held, so much more guarded, so much more, tapping into, again, the community, sureness of the soil, grounding your feet. When you tap in with your bare feet on the soil, that is tapping in as well. The soil is your soul. And when you come into alignment with the soil and the soles of your feet in the soil, tapping into your soul, it is so powerful to come in that kind of alignment with Earth Mother. And as above, so below. So, for you, Scorpio Rising, I do hope that resonates. I hope that helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. And if you do claim that reading, then put the Scorpio emoji in the comments below. And that's for you. That's for you. Keeping it going for Sagittarius. For the Sagittarius Rising Collective. tapping in for you. Let's see what it is that you need to keep in mind and heart to help everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. Give thanks, Spirit. Tapping in, tapping in. Let's see. All right. 6:09 is our timestamp, tapping into the energy of 369 energy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. I see y'all trickling in. Thank you, thank you. Sagittarius Rising, your message. The Rose of Venus. When we're tapping into our Venus retrograde last 6 days until she goes direct to Rose of Venus. Alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. Tap in to your energy of what kind of relationship, dynamics, friendships, career, all of the things when we talk about interpersonal relationships. What do you want them to look like, feel like, and be it for yourself. Be it with the Creator. Have that energy of alignment with self and source. Be in your mode of prayer. Be in your alignment with the Creator, with the co-creation and co-curation of this whole experience. And once you are in that kind of alignment, the flow of all of the right relationships must find you. That is the energy of Venus, of being in divine feminine receptive mode energy. That is this energy of making room to bloom, reminding yourself that you are a flower. And once you are in and anchored and rooted in the sureness of soil that you are supposed to be in, and your water is flowing and your cup overfloweth, and the sun is shining and all of the elements is doing what they're supposed to do, the bloom is inevitable. The growth is inevitable. So loving that for you. Loving that for you, Sagittarius Rising. Let's see what else is in store to tap into this Rose of Venus. Perfectly in alignment for a Venus retrograde and a Libra full moon on the same day that Venus goes direct. I mean, wow. You've got Judgment, ironically, where we're here talking about all the judgers that come and try to clown people's positive spaces, right? Tap into this energy of non-judgment, of release, of letting people be so that you can focus on you finding who you are supposed to and meant to be. We are so inundated and so distracted by other people doing and saying and preaching and teaching and judging and judging and judging, and then we're not being discerning, and then we're distracted, right? Take it inward, judgment free of them, but of yourself. Because oftentimes when we are in an energy of hearing how other people are judging us, then we can kind of make space for questioning. Oh, is that right? Like maybe that's what they mean. Maybe that's true. And then the irony is that we find ourselves not believing our own truth because of someone else's lie. That's never worth it. That math cannot be mathing, right? Because it's a choice that we make. If it's about believe and receive, why would we believe somebody else's lie over our own truth? Why would we allow the noise to be so loud, the judgment to affect us on such a level that we're not able to actually discern and hear our actual truth? So tap into this energy of judgment by being non-judgmental towards ourselves. Forgive yourself for whatever it is that you feel like you judged yourself for or somebody judged you for. Release it. All of these feelings are also illusionary. When we talk about guilt and shame and fear and all of these things, they don't serve. And a lot of like the people that, come in with all of this negative energy, they're so bogged down and so inundated by those negative thought processes because that's what unfortunately a lot of their religions teach them, So they're like conditioned. They're brainwashed in that regard, or brain polluted, I like to say. We have to actually wash our brains from a lot of these things that are judgment based. So once you wash your brain, once you just choose to brainwash yourself in an energy of light and an energy of love, and then so much is going to come clear from there. Two of Pentacles in the reversal position is an energy of dilemma, of juggling, of not being really sure. I always say if you don't know, the answer is no. You can stop, you can pause. Indecision is a decision, so you get to do that too. And as you're juggling, despite your hands kind of being bogged down by these things, it could be two or more, You have to decide if you're putting one down, if you're putting both down, but ultimately freeing up your hands. Once your hands are free, you're going to be able to really decide, first of all, making space for what's meant for you to actually come into these open palms that are portals to everything that you wish to hold. And at the very least, your hands are free to be able to now decide what it is that you choose to pick up again, or something completely different. So free up your hands first and foremost, and come into alignment with what it is that you choose to fill up your hands with again. So I do hope that that resonates and helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. For the Sagittarius risings, and if you do claim this reading, then please do put the Sagittarius emoji in the comments below. Tap in, tap in. Tap in, tap in, and we're gonna keep it moving. And apologies for the positive comments that I'm receiving for not answering, but I do focus on just getting through the readings, since I do go to each sign one at a time, and whatever I would share in between, those that kind of skip to their timestamp would miss it. So I'm trying to just kind of keep it focused to the specific messages for the rising signs. But you can definitely tap in with me Tuesday tea at 2, so that you can just connect with me every Tuesday at 2 p.m. I tap into a different deck, tap into the universal laws, and it's a different, more open space for us to read comments and share and discuss. So definitely join me there, and I will do my best to answer any questions that you may have. So Capricorn Rising, it is your turn. Capricorn Rising. Let's see what is in store for you. Oh, you got to flip out, so we're going to go for it. Temple of the Rose, ancient power expression activation, scarlet codes. There is an ancient power that is within you, within all of us, really. But you are supposed to be tapping into it that much more, particularly this week. Again, the last 6 days of Venus retrograde, Venus going direct on the 12th, on the same day of our Venus-ruled Libra full moon, pink moon, tapping into the flower, tapping into the expansion, to the blooming that is meant for you. So when we think about this energy of expression and this energy of the temple of the rose, is us reminding ourselves that we are, and our bodies are, a temple, right? This energy of there's no separation. When you have found God within, you can never be without. This is the reminder of the importance of going inward and what retrogrades ultimately teach us, especially a Venus retrograde, which is all about love and relationships and our home and our hearth and our sanctuary and our finances and how they all coincide. So tap into your connection with self and source, how you can honor your temple, how you are taking better care of yourself. So think about your diet, think about working out, how you're sleeping at night, what you're exposing yourself to, the environments, the relationships, all of these things, how you're allowing yourself to be treated, and then start treating yourself in the way that you hope to be treated. Capricorn energy is really about hard work. So when y'all dig your heels in, you're steady, you're focused, but you're very much, it's easier for you to do that when it comes to work, when it comes to external things. This is the work that is very internal, and that's going to be a little bit challenging for you, but is going to be so necessary. And that if the ultimate goal is for things to reflect externally the way that you hope them to, it is inevitable when you do that work internally. So definitely take care of your temple on a physical front, on an emotional front, on a spiritual front, on an intellectual front, as much as you can. Everything is going to reflect and mirror back to you. Let's get some more clarification on that for the Capricorn Rising Collective. Ooh, you got a card on the ground, which means very grounded, solid, stable energy. Queen of Swords, and the message with the Queen of Swords in reverse is you need to speak your mind. You need to speak up. You need to be a lot more clear, and in some ways maybe kind of cutthroat and harsh about certain things. You might be being too nice in a particular relationship or dynamic or situation that people aren't really getting the message or not really taking you as seriously as you would like them to, because you're being kind, because you're being nice. I think about the nice notion, and sometimes we're a little bit too nice that people, think that they can kind of railroad us. And then we've got this question now of, You know, do I find an in-between, or do I go to a complete other extreme and really shock them out of it? That's a question ultimately that you're going to have to ask for yourself, but remind yourself again that you are the temple, and whatever it is that you are allowing is what's going to perpetuate. So think about how you want to switch things up. If there is a particular relationship or dynamic or environment that is kind of treating you unfairly, that is not really giving you the respect that you're due. And then you've got the Four of Pentacles, and this is holding things close to your chest. And on one end, that's a good thing, because sometimes things are too sacred to share and you're not supposed to just put it out there. Some people have negative energy, right? And even out here sending love and spreading love and giving people an energy of helping their lives rise into place. And then there's going to be, you know, some religious fanatics that are going to choose to come into the space and spew hate and negativity and all of these things, right? But it doesn't sway me from coming here and doing this work, because at the end of the day, I know that it serves more than it doesn't. And it's helping them too. That's the beautiful part, the most beautiful part about it. Because if it was really offensive to them, why would they be here? Why would they stay, right? Something for them too. So I'm grateful to do this work. But when we tap into this energy of too sacred to share, some things in an environment like that, I wouldn't necessarily do. I wouldn't necessarily share. So be mindful for yourself of what it is that you do need to keep close to your chest, or what you're going to risk putting out there anyway, because of the message that you know is more important, despite how maybe uncomfortable or unfortunate or whatever it is that you individually might feel. We have to always think as well of the greater good and how it serves humanity more than anything. But think about how it serves you as well, right? So on that end, that's the keeping things close to your chest. But in regards to this message and coming into alignment with your temple and the ancient power that you have, is letting you know that you might be keeping things in that need to come out, that need to be said. Like the Queen of Swords in reverse is saying that your throat chakra might be a little bit tight. And that's the reason that people are treating you the way that they're treating you, is because you're not standing your ground. You're not really standing up for yourself, and you're giving them a message. And like I always say, when we're in a dynamic that doesn't feel good and somebody is treating us a certain way and we don't do anything about it, we don't have boundaries, we don't speak up, we're not honest, we don't stand our ground, we're not just telling them that it's okay, we're telling them that we like it. And that's a whole other level of them feeling entitled and them not gonna be the ones to initiate doing and thinking and treating you different, right? It's powerful when you think about the fact that you could be sending a message that you like the mistreatment. So if that is something that can kind of create more of a, I gotta do something different, right? It's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. What's the difference that you want to experience? And as a result, what are you going to do in order to make that much more possible? That roots into honoring your temple and making sure that you are in this protective space, this protected energy, this energy again of what it is that you need to be discerning in terms of holding to your chest. But then on the flip side of it, what you need to speak out your mouth to let people know this is what's up, and I'm not going to have it any other way. Shame. That's for the Capricorn Rising Collective. If you do claim this reading, then please do put the Capricorn emoji in the comments below. Hello, hello for those joining. I see some new comments. Peace, peace. I see y'all. Again, I try not to read the comments so that I can stay in alignment for the readings, but I see you and I appreciate you. And if you want to touch base and we can kind of have more of a conversation and you can reshare some of these things that you're sharing here, then please do follow me. And on Tuesdays, Tuesday tea at 2, I am here live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. talking about universal laws and talking about how nature nurtures, aligning with herbs and flowers and crystals, and how all of that comes in from spirit, from God, from the earth. There's no separation, and how it helps us, again, just with this energy of helping everything rise into place. So tap in with me on Tuesdays, Tuesday tea at 2. Aquarius Risings, you are up, my fellow Aquarius Risings. I am one of you. Let us see what Spirit has in store for we this week to help everything rise into place. We got to flip out. Let's see. Oh my God. Guys, sorry. The bloom. Creations realized, right time, harvest, celebrate. I'm having a really personal moment right now because I just, off the top, I was talking about my Bloom Brew because I make a new tea that is called Bloom Brew that everybody is loving. And I say, make room to bloom is the affirmation or the declaration that you say when you drink a Bloom Brew. I make room to bloom, ashe. And it's made with flowers and herbs. Rose, which is why I'm using the rose deck this week. I did a tea tasting on Friday and it went really well. And every single person that tried it, not just enjoyed it, but bought some. Somebody bought a 6-pack, and it's all about bloom, making room to bloom. It's called Bloom Brew. So talk about confirmation. And then this morning, I ended up waking up after posting all of the post promo from the tea tasting. So all of my stories is about Bloom Brew and the bloom and making room to bloom and the bloom, bloom, bloom. And then I got this video, this on, on iPhone. Sorry guys, I have to share this because this is crazy. On iPhone, they'll put these pictures and images together and then just kind of do this ready-made reel for you. And then it just shows up at the bottom of your, on your main screen or whatever. The freaking thing says in bloom and ends up putting all of these pictures together of all of these nature shots of flowers that I've taken since 2017. And that was the freaking reel that my phone magically put together for me. So this is, again, when we tap into alignment. And again, people in the naysayers will come and say all this stuff this isn't real, like magic isn't a thing, and it's not all through God. There's no way that there's just this kind of alignment. And that's not from a good, happy, healthy, harmonious source. There's no way. Y'all can say what you want. And then to get the bloom for Aquarius Rising, which I am with y'all, come on. So anyways, okay, let's get back to, it's for us anyway. The bloom. Creations realized, which again is so freaking perfectly aligned because it's also giving me the confirmation that my Bloom Brew is definitely going to be a thing. And if you want some, let me know. Right time, harvest, celebrate? Really? Well, let's get it then. Fellow Aquarius Risings, it's time. I've been telling y'all, for those who follow me and have been following the Rising Signs edition in particular, every time we get here and I have to say my fellow Aquarius Rising, we on the front lines, Pluto and Aquarius, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. This is why we are here. Pluto is in Aquarius for the first time in 248 years. That means our lives, various lives, have not experienced this. So our souls chose to be here during this time for humanity to literally transform the face of humanity into more people over profits, into an energy of the age of Aquarius, into the energy of community and society coming into alignment and taking care of each other better, putting love at the forefront of it all, at the core, being heart-centered leaders. This is the work. This is why we're here. And we've got to do the work internally for it to happen. This is literally about our bloom. This is about the bloom in all of the ways that we remind ourselves that we are delicate flowers, but at the same time, we are on the front lines ready to fight the spiritual war because our souls are at stake and we are sovereign souls. And there is no way that we are going to allow them to take that away. They can have it all. They can have the old world. They can have it. We are splitting an energy. There is a shift that is happening. Those, again, the energies that come here and talk smack, they can't even come where we're going. So it doesn't even matter what they say, right? There is a new bloom that is happening that I'm so passionate about when I get the messages and I get the downloads, and I'm so excited to share them. And then this kind of synergy and this kind of cosmic confirmation happens. And I'm just my mind is blown. So y'all, fellow Aquarius Risings, it's our time, and we're doing it for everybody. So it's not even to say it's our time and we're the only ones that are going to benefit from it. No, we're just on the front lines. But everybody that's just a few steps behind, in the sense, because we're kind of up there ready to take whoever down that's trying to get us and them. It's just we got them. But at the same time, they're behind us, so they got us too. We may be on the front lines, but they got our back too. So it's all in alignment. It's all beautiful and it's all good. It's all good. Woo! Give thanks, Spirit. Ashe. Further clarification. For us Aquarius risings, what would you have us know? Thank you, Spirit. Let me just take these two because I've already been talking too much and I'm already. Six of Cups and the King of Swords in reversal positions. So this is all about the old, thinking about nostalgia, thinking about memories, but we're looking at this energy of the old world. It's like everything right now. Everything that I just said ultimately is like literally being reflected in these cards because this is the split that's happening. When we look at the old world, when we think about nostalgia and having memories of what it once was, the powers that once were, it's done for them. This is the energy here as well when we think about the King of Swords. Those that were in power, that have been wielding the weapons, it's done for them now. It's done for them now. There is a transfer of power that now we, as Aquarius risings in particular, have to accept. We have to accept this transfer of power. It is done. It is done. But ultimately, we get to say yay or nay to whatever they say. Say yay to the transfer of power. Say yay to the fact that it is now our turn to wield weapons of love, where no weapon formed against us shall prosper, whether it's in word, whether it's in actual physical form, whatever it may be, they can't do nothing anymore. We are leading with love. We are leading with our hearts. We are in an energy ultimately where finding God within, we can never be without. And that kind of power, that kind of bloom just makes it grow and makes everything glow for everyone. It literally creates a whole new world. A whole new world. And we're at the forefront, helping bring it into fruition. So yay us, Aquarius risings. Bloom, baby, bloom. Make room to bloom. I make room to bloom. If y'all want some, hit me up. I got you. Because it's good and it's magical and it helps you bloom. So that's for the Aquarius risings, my fellow Aquarius risings. I do hope that that resonates and helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. And if you do claim the reading, just throw the Aquarius rising emoji in the comments below. And let's keep it moving. Last but never least, Pisces risings. My darling Pisces risings who hold all of us on your shoulders. Let's see what you got after the rain. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. And I was just tapping in for the fellow Aquarius risings about accepting the transfer of power. It's over, the negativity, the powers that once were destroying things, the way that they're having an old world, they can have it. There's something so new that is coming in for us, for people, for humanity. Pisces, you've got Neptune energy that has transferred from Pisces into Aries. So when we had Neptune in Pisces, there was a lot of illusion. There was a lot of rose-colored glasses kind of thing. And now the rose-colored glasses are taken off. Now we're seeing things for what they are. And what's so powerful about the Pisces alignment, receiving a message like this, especially tapping into this energy of feeling a light and bright and shine and utopia kind of energy, is because y'all bring in intuition and you bring in the dreams and you bring in, just the alignment with what's in, what is so in the depth of us, the subconscious. And when you come into alignment with hope and with mercy and with accepting this new world, this bright world, this happy world, this utopic world, it just makes it so much easier for the rest of us. Because then you move forward, you're tapping into Jupiter, because Jupiter rules Pisces as well as Sagittarius. So when you come into the energy of the planet that literally protects Earth from asteroids hitting into us and just destroying the whole planet, you are that alignment. And that's why I say that you kind of hold us all on your shoulders. You are that Jupiter energy. You kind of enfold in so many ways. So the abundance that is coming for you when you come into this kind of alignment is so, so, so powerful. It's so, so, so deep. And just the mercy that, again, believe to receive that it's over. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever's been hard, whatever's been rough, whatever is challenging, name it, claim it, demand it, command it that it is over. That it's just like, okay, now Full speed ahead. Okay, now it happened the way that it was supposed to, but now onward, upward, rising into place. Let's get further clarification on that. For the Pisces Rising Collective, your thanks, Spirit. What else do you have them know? Page of Cups in the reversal position. And that is when we tap into an energy of, wow. Page of Cups, 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords. I'm going to start with the Page of Cups because the Swords energy, very, very interesting for this message because of, again, the old world and what is like literally not even a thing anymore. They're going to try and they're going to go down kicking and screaming and all of that. But again, tapping into Pisces rising energy, there's a very protective energy that's very Jupiter energy about you. And it is so imperative for you to tap into that truth to make sure that, again, not only protecting yourself, but protecting humanity in that regard when it comes to intuition and our dreams and tapping into our subconscious and speaking the narratives and the truth of what it is that we actually want to experience, inform and experience. So when we tap into the Page of Cups, this is tapping into an apology. This is tapping into somebody seeing you in a different light that they maybe misjudged you before. And you have to, again, be discerning in regards to any energy that comes back with an apology, whether you feel that it's genuine or not, or whether you feel that they're apologizing to get you back or something about you. Because I realize that a lot of times people are in relationships where they choose other people, not because of how they feel about the person, but because of how the person makes them feel, what the person does for them, what they're getting from the person. So when there's a void or when there's a separation or when there's a breakup and then all of a sudden they're not getting those things and those feelings anymore, then they want to come back to try to fill themselves up, not to give, not to actually make it better, none of that stuff. So you have to pay attention to that with any returning energies, especially as we're tapping into the last 6 days of Venus retrograde. And then going into, on the same day, our Libra pink full moon. So release to increase, room to bloom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know and acknowledge for yourself, however you see yourself in the future, what vision that you have for yourself and for your relationships and whatever it is, who's not there, what dynamics are not there, and start implementing that today. And of course, it's not always easy, but it's really just a choice ultimately. And we can feel bad about kind of feeling like we're turning away from someone. But when we choose dynamics that are not for us, then ultimately we're turning away from ourselves. So it's always a question of what's a bigger risk? What's a bigger loss? Losing someone else or losing ourselves? That's the question. Especially when it's confirmed here with our 5 of Swords and our 7 of Swords in the upright position. There's conflict, there's deception, there's betrayal, there's an energy of this ain't right, this ain't it. And you know it. And Spirit is telling you and reminding you, we're giving you the cosmic confirmations. And again, especially if this is an energy that's past, that again may return. Retrograde energy is all about the returns, especially exes. And they want to come back and say, I'm sorry, and I've learned, and I have this, and I have that. Doesn't mean not to forgive. I'm always about forgiving. But there's a difference between giving and forgiving. And you can choose to forgive and not give. And that's a choice that you have to make for yourself, ultimately. You can choose that, let them back in, or you can say, it's all good, but you have to stay where you are. I'm moving here. You get to stay here, but I'm going here now, and I'm going without you. So if you feel in some ways that you want to release, whenever I hear them cars zooming by, and I'm on a very quiet residential street, it's again, forward motion. Whatever it is, like even this energy, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. The question is, do you accept that it's over? Do you accept that whatever it is that does not fit, that does not match, that is not giving you reverence and appreciation and gratitude and consistency and love and treating you like the flower that you are? If you don't accept that it's over, if you don't accept that this is not it and that you don't feel a sense of safety, then you're just going to keep yourself stuck. So you just have to decide, ultimately, how good do you want it? That's the question. Pisces Rising, that is your message. I do hope that it resonates. I hope that it helps everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. And if you do claim the reading, then just pop in the Pisces emoji in the comments below. And we got to it. We got through it at 6:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, tapping into 369 energy, the code and keys to the universe. Magic, magic, magic all over this energy. I am grateful for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I see the comments, and now that we're done, I'm gonna actually tap in, and maybe that's just what I'll do. I'll go through the comments when I'm actually done all of the readings, and this is going to be a whole other timestamp of reading through the comments, outro, all of that stuff. But I thank you, thank you, thank you all again, as always, for tapping in with me. I will start from the bottom and give the shout outs in only positive energy. I ain't shouting out any trolls inside this space. I'm just literally gonna ignore you, but send you all the love. Send you all the love to clear and heal your heart, because you got some stuff you need to work on if you're coming in a positive space with hate. Just saying. Married 007 007 Clark 369. Yes, Queen, you know what's up. And she also said, I love that Africans are finally getting back to their African spirituality and going back to their roots. We can't dismiss the fact that our entire identity was stolen. Exactly, Queen, exactly. And this is why my brand Back to Natural is literally all about that. Literally going back to the beginning of time. And this is the unfortunate part, like when more of the trolls that come and say stuff about tarot and the this and the evil and the witchcraft and all of these things are coming in with this new concept of ultimately a new religion with a God that they choose that doesn't even look like us, and then tell us that we're the ones that have a problem tapping into our ancient traditions. Like, any name that they can say is the name. We got names that have been said for thousands of years longer than their new names. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even going to drop names because I believe in all of them. The prophets' names that they use, those prophets don't even have those negative concepts. They're misusing the name. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even going to name drop and say anything negative about any of the gods and any of the prophets, because the gods and the prophets and the Most High, ultimately, there is only one, and we are all manifestations. We are all manifestations of that one creator. So when we decide to dissect and judge and all of these things, especially when some new shit, like, yo, y'all just got here with this, like, easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, our people been doing this. So yes, to your point, when we get back to natural, when we root ourselves into that ancient tradition, everything opens up. That is definitely an alignment of blooming on a whole other level. So Ashe, Queen, Ashe. I tap into the Ifa tradition, so Yoruba, the Orishas. So these are my Elekes, and completely changed my life. I also tap into Kemet, ancient Egypt, as well as Hinduism. So those are huge tenements. And I was raised Catholic and Christian, so I do still align and speak Yeshua's name, but Yeshua, you know what I'm saying? Like, these that come with this new name, when the letter J wasn't even created until, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least do your history, do your homework before you come in judging people and telling them like what to do. You know what I'm saying? So this whole part of, to your point, of going back to natural, to going back to our African traditions, it's intellect, it's history. And when we start to dive in, it's all there. It's all there. And a lot of these philosophers and historians and mathematicians and scientists, they learned from us. They learned from Kemet. So either way, it's still farther back than the very people that are getting all the credit that just don't look like us. So the more we do our homework, the more we know. And then when we know, we can't unknow. And that kind of like elevation, that kind of alignment, that kind of like coming back into ourselves, yo, man, nobody can say nothing. They can't tell us nothing. Like, for reals. Trash talking account. My trash talking account says, hi, can you read tea leaves? I've done it, but I don't do it like on a professional level. I definitely wouldn't consider myself a tea leaf reader, but for fun, I do it for myself. But I am clairaudient. I get my messages very, very verbally clear. I'm also an automatic writer, and I use the cards, crystals, herbs, speak in general sense. I get the herbs. I'm an artist as well, so I get a lot of abstract art messages when I'm working with my art making, but different divination processes. I work with cowrie shells and, again, tapping into nature and the Orisha. But yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a tea leaf reader. But it is very cool. Absolutely. Nito says, seventh black girl playing with tarot cards I've seen. I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but word up. We be doing it. We be doing it. Black girl magic. Oh, Pisces says, you know, when I started perimenopause, I was really agitated and aggressive. Hormone replacement therapy fixed that. That's what she's telling the one that was talking trash. I appreciate you, Pisces. Pisces got my back. Pisces is literally telling Natalie she got to go and check her stuff because she got some problems and she need to work out. Pisces, I appreciate you. Thank you for having my back, girl. If you're a girl, I'm assuming. But if not, I appreciate you either. Well, no, you said perimenopause, but yes, I appreciate you, girl. Indeed, there's some imbalances going on. Yes, the universal laws were created by God, absolutely. So we all get to talk about it. So I don't know if that's, again, the troll that was saying that. But you know, you're misreading and mishearing everything that I say. Just, I guess, gonna call you troll because I'm not gonna give your energy more energy than that. Jim James asks, what do you do when you're overwhelmed because you feel everything? Oh my goodness, I know. Ground as much as you can. I'm not sure where you live, but if you can get your bare feet on some soil, do that as much as you can. Grass, soil, planting, getting your hands in some earth. If you align with crystals in any way, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, black onyx, black obsidian, dark stones, black ideally will really help. You can hold them, sleep with them under your pillow, or you can put them on the ground if you're not able to ground outside and just put them under your feet and just breathe. And a very powerful way to come into alignment and calm is to actually block your right nostril and just breathe through the left nostril. It brings in an energy of calm, receptive energy, bringing in what it is that you actually want to come into your space, into your soul, into your spirit. And it's, again, that release to increase, urge to purge, face it to replace it, feel it to heal it, room to bloom. A lot of times it really is just about the kicking out of what doesn't serve us for everything that already is to come trickle to the top. So I hope that helps. And there are grounding mats as well that you can get on Amazon. So that way you can just like plug it into the wall and it taps into the same electric current that is natural in the earth. So if you're not able to do that year round, depending on where you live, I've got 2 grounding mats in my home. So that's same thing when I feel a little bit of nervousness or I'm overwhelmed by projects or whatever the case is, I'll just stop and be in that meditative moment, but with my bare feet on the grounding mat. So definitely look into a grounding mat as well and see if that can help. And just breathe, you know. I always actually tap into an energy where they say inhale and then exhale, but I exhale before I inhale for that same release to increase energy. So you're gonna kind of exhale and kick out all the old energy, all the old breath, stale air that's in your lungs, and then have a full space within your lungs, your lung capacity to bring in the new fresh breath. So I clear it all the way out. More space to bring in the new. And then every exhale, you're thinking about what it is that you don't want. It's out of here. I'm letting it go. It's done. And then with every inhale, think about the positivity, the things that you actually want to bring in. And try that. Try that. What else? Appreciate the emojis, Pisces. Thank you, thank you. Man, this troll was on it. She was like, I got all these like yucky negative comments to like scroll past. Y'all saw them though, right? Rosaria Stigall is an Aquarius. How you doing? I'm an Aquarius Rising. Welcome. Pisces says, thank you for supporting the channel with your engagement. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, you're right. You were thanking her for supporting with the engagement. You right. See what I'm saying? They be serving anyway. They serving us anyway. You right, Pisces. You on it. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, here she goes. Here she goes. Sunia, divine guidance for you. I do private readings. So I will also at the end, when I post this in the description box below the live, you'll see my email. you'll see just details in terms of getting in touch with me if you want a private reading or remote reading. So I do remote readings for $22. So you basically ask whatever your question is, and I'll audio record, tap into the cards, and then send you the audio recording, which is like 10, 15 minutes or so with a picture of the cards that tap in specifically to your inquiry. So that's for $22 US dollars. And then if you want a private one-on-one reading virtually, I send you a Zoom link, and that's $88 for a 44-minute reading. So your choice. Definitely touch base if you'd like. Angela's questioning her neighbors, negative energy from your neighbors. I'm sorry to hear that. Definitely tap in if you'd like any more guidance on that. And I see your question as well, Sania. So definitely let me know if you'd like me to tap in for you to get into that inquiry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You know, oftentimes when we do feel this sense of questioning and asking things, you know, I always say if you don't know, the answer is no. But oftentimes we also do know, you know, the question, the answer, you know, intuitively, we might not always want to accept it. And we want certain confirmations that are definite. So tap in for yourself in regards to being honest, you know, in terms of how something feels. And ultimately, if you're in any dynamic that makes you question and doubt loyalty, you have to question if it's your own insecurities or if the person is giving you a reason to question them and to doubt them. If you feel like they're being shady, if you feel like they're being disrespectful, if you feel like they're not acknowledging your feelings, you know what I mean, and your reason for doubt, then that in itself is also a red flag, and in some ways could be an admission of guilt, you know? So just keep all of that in mind, you know, as you're processing that. But happy to help directly if I can. If you follow up with me, I will do so. I'm sorry. And welcome from India. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And then Lions, a Fix-It Shop, an avalanche of abundance building up. I saw that when it was happening. We were talking about that. Word up. Puma Annie, I see your hands up. You were Jemmy, word up. Puck Gardner, thank you for the heart. Thank you. Thank you. That's another troll. Thank you. Hi, Georgia. Hello, Nina. Hi, Hacker. Welcome, welcome. Pasimo. Just tapping into some readings. And Verminsky, you got your Virgo message, word up. This will be posted at 8 a.m. So for those who don't see it live, you'll get it at 8 a.m. in the morning for the week ahead. Stefan asked, what are my thoughts on the newest Kanye West interview? I don't think I didn't see that. How new? I'm going to check it out. Thanks. MD Omar, welcome, welcome. Verminsky, hi. I am good. Thank you, MD. How are you? Thunder, hi. So nice to get the comments, even the ones that aren't, because just like Pisces said, I'm getting the engagement. So keep it coming, haters, keep it coming. We always doing something right when there's somebody watching and hating. Always. Trust and believe. If they're here, there's something that makes them feel good. That's all. They have so many other things they can do, so many other channels at the very least they could be watching. You gonna be here saying something to me like, what's up, Carla? Hello, Ashir from Pakistan. Welcome, welcome. So that's it. I'm gonna go. But here every Sunday, live at 5, tapping in for the rising signs. Just to let y'all know what to keep most in mind and heart to help everything rise into place. Nothing is falling. It is only up from here. Also, Tuesday tea at 2. I am right here as well as on Instagram, so you can follow me there, Sabrina Sahara Shares. And I'll be tapping into my Bloom Brew and all that. So if y'all want to try my Bloom Brew, you should do that. And I've got a gallery space as well in Brooklyn. So if anybody's interested in coming to check out some organic abstract art, I'm doing all the things. So that's it for this week until Tuesday. And then, yeah, I'll see you next Sunday if I don't see you on Tuesday. And I am grateful, truly, truly grateful for you all. Until next time, lest we forget, in the meantime and in between time to get back to natural. Peace.